the Naked Truth with me and the amazing Paul Ramsey.
Hi, everybody. We're collaborating today. Get your collaboration hats on.
Exactly. What we are going to show you is how to collaborate in real time from the comfort of your own home. Apparently, a lot of people don't know how to do this, which is very it's understandable, right? Because you never had to. You're just like walking to someone else in the office. And you are used to maybe Microsoft Word and Excel, and you're used to saving files and emailing the files and getting, new files and opening those files with the corrections and all that stuff. So we are today going to help you overcome all that stuff so you don't have to save everything everywhere. And let me just see and make sure that you guys see us. If you do, comment, let us know. Let us know that you can see us, that you're here, and that you're with us so that we know we are helping you in real time. And I'm just going to refresh and make sure that we are live. And then we're going to get started. Yes, we are. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. So, Paul, you were the one who said, hey, let's do this, right? What do you see your peers are struggling with before we dive into specifically how? And Paul disappeared. There is no Paul. He doesn't hear me. Okay, so we're not talking to Paul. Here's Paul. Paul,
I'm back. I'm back. It never fails. It's Murphy's Law. If we start and my dog's like, I want to go outside. And so I'm like, yep, great. And if I don't let her, she knows that she's in charge, really. And so she just keeps barking and barking. So bring me back. What are we talking about?
Animals, right? Yeah. So, you brought this up and you said, hey, a lot of people in your community, in your circles, are struggling with real-time collaboration. So just talk about what you're seeing in your little environment, and then we'll dive into specifically how. And guys,
yeah.
Go ahead. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know that we will be real-time collaborating with you as well. So you can come in and actually interact with us in real time, use the same documents, get your hands on it just with us. So if you want to do that, the way that you can do it is right here on viralconnectivity.com/live. Click the button below and we will share in the chat with you the link to our collaboration tool, which is Google Docs. So Paul, what's going on? Why do we need to do this?
Well, so I'm a big fan of always reminding myself and others that there's never just one way of looking at things, right? So even as on the one hand, I say, I think there's a real challenge for small business owners with collaboration. At the same time, I totally recognize that there isn't, because most small business owners just exist on their own island, right? And and in most of their day-to-day, they just do what they need to do to make their business run.
Right.
But I think that right now there's a contextual shift around that has to be identified. And then I also think from a bigger productivity perspective, I think a lot of small business owners don't really look at and examine that perspective of, well, if I did create opportunities for collaboration more regularly, maybe I could get things done better or get more things done. And so I think that there's just we're creatures of habit, right? So when I was working on my online wellness conference over a week ago, and I was coordinating, I had 35 different presenters all over the United States, and even one in the United Arab Emirates, right? So I had people in different time zones, different countries, and we were constantly, working this whole, like, I need this bio from you, and I need headshots, and I need your video, and I need your audio, and so in that process, it really opened my eyes to how when you put people in a position that is outside their norm, like go to my office,
right,
check my email, the most basic stuff that we're all used to. As soon as you step outside of that, some pretty glaring things pop up. Like I had people that they made a video, right? They'd make a video and they'd say, all right, I made my video for the conference. How do I get it to you? And I would say, well, just put it on your YouTube channel and send me the link. And they'd be like, oh, I don't have a YouTube channel. And, and we talked about this in an earlier episode. I was on YouTube back in like 2009 or something like that, right? And so I'm like, what do you mean it's 2020? What do you mean you don't have I didn't say that because I didn't want to seem rude. But inside I was like, what do you mean you don't have a YouTube channel? And people would do that with documents too. They'd go, I have this document, how I get it to you? And I'd be like, I just want to say, just drop it in Dropbox or Google Drive and just send me a link so I can access it. There's a lot of small business owners out there that are still in that really older model of like, everything has to be attached.
Right.
Everything has to be file added, you know? And then when you're in that model, it's almost like a real world model. I have to digitally hand it to you. You have to do something with it. You have to digitally hand it back to me.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, no. And you get that.
Yeah. So and this is one of the things that you and I were talking about outside of this, where when someone sends me a PDF that only has text on it in an email, you can just take the text and send that in an email. Like, you don't have to take the text, write it in Word, convert it into a PDF, upload it to an email to send it to me just so I can read the text in the PDF. There's no point. My lawyer sent it to me and they said, that was funny. So he sends the PDF with, here are the places, if you're in court right now, here how every county works. So here's the, and it's just text. And I was like, hey, wouldn't it be better for you and your SEO if you put that information on your website and send the link to your website to everybody else, so that when they see that, and if they have someone else, they forward the link and they don't have to send attachments. So there's a lot of ways that people are, like you said, they think like we need a physical thing to send you. That's the beauty of email. It's text. Yeah. You just like text messages. You do the same thing in an email, right? Just send it back and forth.
And in fairness, I still do it. Like, there are still ways in which, like, it's a process that's sort of hard to monitor, right? Like, how do you keep checking, am I doing this the most ideal, the most productive way possible that you can? It's because we love habits. Human beings have evolved to love getting into habits where you use less cognitive bandwidth by just having something become so habitual that you do it without thinking about it.
But here's the weird part, right? But the weird part is, like, it takes you a lot more work to go and create a nice PDF than just to send the text over.
Which is the other side of humans, which is we really are much more driven by the way we feel than by thinking. So we get things to a point where they feel like the right way or the best way. And as long as it feels that way for us, we're good and we don't question it, even though there could be a way. And then, you have to have somebody hold it up and go, now look at what you're doing here and look at what you're doing here and how much more work this way is, and it weighs you down. You have to have that experience. Yeah. And again, for a lot of small business owners, because we just sit in our office by ourselves most days, we don't have anyone doing that for us unless we get into some kind of a business mastermind where we're making ourselves be around other people, or a mentorship program, or a professional conference where we create opportunities to have that happen.
Right. And so this is what we want to help you guys with today. Think a little differently, because right now what we have is a fantastic time where everybody's pivoting and changing and trying new habits, and you have all the time in the world to kind of like sit down and apply new ideas and new ways of doing things. And so today we're going to talk about collaboration, and we are going to talk about Google Drive. Google Drive instead of Microsoft Office. The benefits of using Google Drives are many, from security to ease, to like you'll never lose your files because they're in the cloud, to you can access your files from any device. This is a beautiful thing, actually, when you think about this. It makes it so that this phone that you're having in your hand is not, it's not a storage device, it's just an access device. Meaning, if you put your files in the cloud, then it doesn't matter if this is broken and disappears, because you can just go to the store, get another one, log in, connect, and now you have access to everything. You haven't lost your contacts, you haven't lost your documents, you haven't lost anything. Luis Galarza says, I hope Google doesn't decide one day to end Google Drive. Yeah, just like they did with Google Plus and Hangouts. You and me both, brother.
It does go back to your sort of don't build your business on rented properties argument in a different way, right? Totally. But I think the difference with this, and you would get this, is I mean, Google is running their business off
On
of
Drive,
this stuff.
yes.
They built all of it so that their employees could get stuff done. So, I mean, we're not talking about quite the same argument, right?
Right, but let's. This is an important part. You can lose your Google access. Like Google can suspend your Gmail account or your YouTube account. They can do that, and so there are ways around it. One of them is create another Gmail account and give access to all your Drive and documents to that Gmail account. So if one email is closed, you have access with another one as you're trying to resolve the issue with Google. It doesn't happen often. Google is pretty good at, being fair, but just, in fairness. The other way is you can pay for it. You can go to G Suite and just pay for an account, and now you have
That's what I
support. Do. Yeah.
That's what I do. I don't get why all small business, honestly, I hate to sound like I'm a Google plant or something, but I just don't get why all small business owners don't have G Suite. $6 a month. Yeah. Like your email, your calendar integration, your ability to create forms, spreadsheets, yep. PowerPoint presentations. They call them Google Slides, right? But the equivalent of what most people think of as PowerPoint. All that stuff plus a bunch of other apps that I don't use, but that are there that some people might want to use for $6 a month. It's a no-brainer.
I don't know. How much is Microsoft? Isn't that around the same?
I don't even know. I haven't been in that world for over 20 years now. So
yeah, so this is how easy it is to use use real-time collaboration. So I'm going to share my screen. You guys can see us do it in real time. So you just log into Drive. You click on New right here, and now you have all these options. This is like your Microsoft Word. This is your Microsoft Excel. This is your PowerPoint. And then you have even more settings. You have forms. You have drawings, you have maps, you have sites, you can build your own website. You have all kinds of different applications and scripts that I have here that you don't have to have. You can have sign requests, you can have smart sheets, you have like tons of stuff that you can use with Google Apps. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to use a Google Doc, which I just created one. They have templates even. So if you wanted to create some kind of a fancy document, you have plenty of templates that you can click on. And you have resumes, and you have letters, and you have a bunch of other things that you can just click on, and brochures. Well, you can click on it, and it will automatically become a document in your Drive, and you can use it. So there's tons and tons and tons because people are uploading and sharing for free here. So we created a document right here, real-time collaboration that you guys can hop on in and use with us. And in order for me to give you access to that, this is one of the things that I really love about Drive. You click here on Share. And I can put people here. I can put people's names here. So I'm going to put Paul. Right here. And now I can give him permission. Edit, comment, and view. See that? And this is going to send him an email, says like, if I shared a link with you. What's nice about this is that if Paul and I ever get into a fight, and I don't want to, it's like ever impossible. But if we ever get into a fight.
I'm turning off all your Google stuff.
Exactly. Like, no. Which happened, right? Because you can have, you have business partners that you work with. And all of a sudden you're not working with each other anymore. And so you can take access away from them by simply removing their name from here. Bloop, and that's it. They don't have access anymore. You can search Drive for a name of a person, and you can remove access to all that stuff. So in a way, if you're thinking about this is more secure than sending them a Word document, because in a Word document, you can't take the document back. You send the exact file there, they saved it on their computer, and it's there forever until their computer crashes or they delete it, right? But with Google Drive, you can remove people, so it's a more secure, if you think about this, than using Microsoft Office and sending files back and forth. So I shared the link with Paul. So Paul, hop on in. Here, I'll share it.
I'm checking my Gmail and it hasn't come to me yet.
I shared the link with you in chat, in Zoom chat. So guys,
I know it won't let me cut. Here's a weird thing. This is very weird. It won't let me cut and paste it. It won't let me copy it.
This is
Zoom.
The new security of Zoom.
It might be. It might be that they may change a security. Every time I go, it gives me a dunk sound and it won't let me copy it.
Okay, so I just shared it with you. You should get an email.
Yep, it just came into my Gmail box. So I've got your share and conversation now.
Okay, so
All
now
right, I'm there.
when Paul joins, you can see his little pretty picture up here. You can see him writing right there, right? And then if I'm gonna write, and so guys, you can see like both of us are working on the same document in real time with each other. So we don't have to send back documents, change them and save them and send them again. We can just work from remotely. Even though we are in two different places right now, we are working on the same document in real time.
The coolest example of this I've ever had, Ifat, was I consulted with a colleague back from my university days who now does consulting on survey and assessments. Mm-hmm. And I went to him and I said, could you help me build a survey for this project that I'm doing? He's like, yeah. And I didn't even ask him to, but again, he's in that world where he's more like us. And he said, send me your first initial list of questions. So I just typed them in an email in Gmail and sent them to him. He took them and put them in a spreadsheet on Google Drive. And then he started there's a note feature, right? So he started making notes relevant to the questions to clarify when you ask this, do you really mean this? And he was doing all that. And then he didn't have to have me on the phone or something in real time. He just sent me an email, goes, all right, I've thrown them in a document. I've made some notes, check on it at your convenience and just get back to me. And so then I went in and I did that. And so it got done. We had the whole thing done in about 4 hours.
There you go.
Whereas I think normally it would have taken a day or two of sending things back and forth, right? That old digital, I'm handing it to you, you hand it to me. We just kept dropping in and updating, and boom, it was done.
Yep,
like,
it's fantastic.
It was awesome.
It's really great. There are also all kinds of options that you can, see corrections, for example, see changes that people are making. So if I switch here from editing to suggesting right here, and I'm going to delete this word, right? So now there is a green line around it, and if I deleted this one, and now if I'm going to start typing, oops. So now when Paul is looking at this, it says Ifat replaced awesome with rockstar. And now you can actually look at all the changes before, and you can talk about them in real time and really collaborate. So for those who are listening to us on the podcast, then guys, if you don't see the visual of what we're doing, you have to go to viralconnectivity.com/live. You'll see the visual of how we are collaborating in real time in a Google Doc.
Here's the other great thing, Ifat.
Yeah.
When you get it all done, if you have someone that is a diehard, no, my stuff needs to be in Microsoft Word, you can export from Google Docs. You can export it as a Word document.
Download as Word document, open document format, PDF, RTF, PDF, plain text.
Right? You've got all those options.
All these options. You can rename, you can publish it on the web. This is super cool. So now I have PowerPoint, if you will, Google Slides presentations that I share on the web. And so what's nice with that is that I don't have to send them the entire presentation. They have a link to it. And if I update the presentation, it updates on the web as well. So I have an entire presentation, kind of like, whatchamacallit, the one for LinkedIn where they're doing presentations. What is it called?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know very little about LinkedIn. You're much more knowledgeable about
slides,
that. You shook the fist on that one. That was here's what I'll tell you about Google Slides. I stayed away from Google Slides, even though I love Google stuff, right? I stayed away from it for a long time because I was so into Keynote. Keynote for aesthetics, nothing beats Keynote on a Mac, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like that. But here's what I found happen over the years was, as much as I loved the aesthetics of Keynote and the way that it functioned, I kept running into, when I would go speak at a hypnotist convention or something, and I wanted to give my slides to people, there were people that had Macs that didn't have Keynote. It was an add-on for a long time. You had to buy it. It didn't come out of the box on your Mac. I think it may now, but for a long time it didn't. And then there were people who didn't have Macs. And so again, what's so great about doing stuff on Google is you can, it just is, it's simpler on purpose. They keep everything simple so that you can transform it more easily to other things. And again, to be able to go, all right, before if someone was like, hey, your slides were awesome, can I get a copy of those? And I'd have to go, yeah, and I have to go into my Mac and export it on my Mac and then attach it as a file and send it some. With Google, you just go, yeah, and you just send them a link, right? And it's in your drive. You go, yeah, I'll send it to you. And you send them a link and they go into the drive and they just look at it in the drive. So much easier.
Yeah, it's so much easier. And actually, one of the easiest ways to do that is when you're given a presentation, put a QR code on the last slide of your presentation. People can just take a picture of that and then they're automatically moving to the link that you shared on the screen. So, and the benefit of that, guys, is that you control what people see after they go there, right? So if you send them to your website and you have an opt-in, you can collect emails from people who have watched your presentation and now you can follow up with them. How'd you like it? Did you use it? Was it helpful? Do you have questions? And now you start building relationships over a shared topic. And so
here's one of the things I really appreciate about you though. I am so literal and so concrete that I almost always think of, if someone might want it, I'm going to give it to them. And you almost always think of, you're happy to share with people, but they're going to have to go to your site to get it. And that's so much smarter, really. Like it really is, to take stuff and go, how can I put this on my site, make it available for people and truly give value, but they've got to go to my site and drive traffic to my site. I love how you're always thinking like that.
Thank you. And one of the reasons to do that is because I know most people don't do shit with anything, right? Like you give them everything, but they're just not going to take action. And so when they come to your website, if they opt in, you can now follow up with them and make sure that they get the results that you wanted to give them, that they were asking for. But something happened, right? So you can capture their information, you can follow up, you can tag them, you can start building the relationship that eventually gives them the results they're asking for without knowing that they're asking for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
that
absolutely.
website was SlideShare. You know SlideShare.
Oh, I have heard of SlideShare. Yeah.
So a lot of people put all their presentations, they're uploading it here. So if you're creating a presentation in Google Slides, you can export it and upload it here and people can find it more easily because it's a pretty big site where people are looking. Look at that. 245,000.
So wait, LinkedIn owns that?
Yep. See?
Oh,
Yeah,
I've heard
they bought it.
SlideShare before, but I never knew that it was a LinkedIn thing.
Yeah, they bought it.
That's
like
cool.
they bought lynda.com. And I think Microsoft owns LinkedIn. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I think
Gosh,
so.
I'm way out of a loop on that stuff.
Yeah.
That's your department.
Perian says, I love the idea. Which idea? Using Google or sending it to the website?
We
Which
just
idea
gave
do
you several ideas. Tell us which one you really like.
Which one do you like? So the beauty of using Google for all the stuff that you have, you can upload images, you can have folders where you can put things on. You can have, what else can you have? You get everything that you can do on your computer, you can do in Google Drive. And again, the beauty of it is that it will never be lost. If anything crashes, you don't have, remember the control save every 2 seconds, right? Like control save.
The old, yeah. Yeah.
And then, you know,
it's such a great, it really is. It's such a great resource to have. And again, you can get all that stuff for free.
Yep.
And if you really want to go to that next level, you do the $6 a month program. And that's when then you can even connect you can connect a specific domain.
Yep.
So that you're really working on your brand, right? You can connect like paulramsey.com to a Google account so that your Gmail is paul@paulramsey.com, not paul@gmail.com, and makes your stuff. That's what Dean was talking to us about the other day, right?
Yep.
Makes you a little more professional.
Right.
And then you get a little more, when you do the $6 a month thing too, you get service. You get unlimited customer service at no additional charge.
Yep. Well, that's true. Perian is saying sending it to the website, but actually I like all the suggestions. So fantastic. I want to see you implement. So with my clients, the same thing I'm doing, right? I'm creating Google links for them, like documents, and then I send it to them and I say, hey, this is what I need. This is what I need. put your information right here. Like I actually type it. This is the place for the information. Put it right there. And that way we have one place where everything is on that all of us can use in or access in real time. Is there anything else that we want to say about real-time collaboration? That you're very welcome, Beryl. Says thanks. There was a video a while back with Google Hangouts that I need to find and I will share it with you. That was really funny. It was a 30-second video where they were having a meeting on Hangout and they just hashed everything right there and then. And they're going like, okay.
Oh yeah, it was a commercial. It wasn't just a video. Yeah. It was a commercial they ran that was sort of poking fun at existing corporate culture where people would come together and sit and use cliches like, well, we'll circle back to that later. And then someone in the meeting would go, but we're here right now. And they would, and the whole point was to expose how unproductive meetings are, right? And yeah, that was a great commercial.
That was a great one. And when, way back when, we could add Google Doc into Hangouts and then really work on it in real time because we had our faces there, our voice there, we had document there. So everything was done in, very quickly. We didn't need to circle back to it or ping you back later or, none of that stuff. And then Google took
that. Makes me think we should have a discussion about Slack.
Well,
we don't have time today, but we should, because I got to tell you, I don't get it.
I don't get Slack at all. I don't. I actually looked into Microsoft Meetings because I was like, okay, what can I use to replace Zoom with? And I looked into Microsoft Meeting. I was like, okay, maybe it's because it's a video collaboration. Not the same. It's not like Zoom. It's like Slack. It's basically a place to discuss stuff. And I don't know. Doesn't work for me. So, one more thing in in collaboration here is, so if I need to have Paul do something, I can highlight it and then I can comment right here. I can right click and where's my comment? Not right click, right here. So I can comment and in the comment, I can tag him. And now I can assign this to him and he'll get an email that says, hey, you are assigned this comment and now he can, take some action on it. So I don't need to be like,
so slick,
right? Hey, Paul, did you get the email? Hey, Paul, did you do that stuff? Like, hey, I don't have to say, I changed the document. Can you please go and find the changes that I made? I'm highlighting exactly what I need you to look at. I can write comments and you're getting an email saying, Yifat notified, and you can answer all these comments from within your Gmail. So you don't have to move into Drive to respond to the comments that you're commenting on.
We should make a 7-day Google challenge.
Okay. Say some more. We have so many things we're like offering people.
I know, but I'm just thinking like that might be a neat thing to do, right? Is to encourage people. Yeah, we got enough on our plate. All right.
So here's my suggestion.
If lots and lots of you come back and tell us you want it, then I guess we could be persuaded to do it. But I'm not going to do it if a whole bunch of people aren't going to do it with us.
You're doing a course right now teaching people how to do that. Add that to your course.
Yeah, that's true. I should do that. I am. So this is what is a great thing. I'm doing this. I got so sort of moved by watching my colleagues who were struggling with some of these collaboration issues that I built a small business mentorship program that launches on Monday. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So if you guys want to move into this new realm of real-time communication, collaboration, and actually know how to use all these tools to take your business to the digital world, find Paul and opt in and get started with him this Monday because he'll take you there. He'll take you there. So tomorrow we are going to be talking with Jonathan Reed about. Oh, you were like, what? Are we? We are.
It's exciting. Tell me more.
Yes, we are. Perlan is asking link to the mentorship. So send it to him. So tomorrow
I will.
We are talking with Jonathan Reed about taking your business digitally and actually making money from it. So he was fired from his job very sad that he was fired. And then he moved online, wrote a book, and started making money from it. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how that process happened so you guys too can apply it. He wasn't an expert in anything. He wasn't, a guru. He didn't have everything ready already. He just got fired, sat at home, cried for a little bit, and then decided what. And then, right? And
That's
then he's
fair.
like, okay, I need to do something.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. So a lot
Good
of
for
you
him.
right now who might be in the same position, we want to help you transition. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on viralconnectivity.com. You can hop in, get your questions answered in real time. And until then, go be productive, go find a way to collaborate, figure out what you want to do and how to move your business, pivot your business, and adapt to everything that's happening right now. And if you need any help, if you need the truth behind everything that is happening in business, marketing, or personal development, this is it. That's the place for you. Up. Up and down and all around. So we will see you guys tomorrow, same time. Hey, Juan Valencia, you're late, but that's totally fine. You have the replay. See you guys later. Have a great